In 1863, President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, which ended slavery in the United States. The end of the Civil War in 1865 further reinforced the abolition of slavery. The 13th and 14th Amendments to the United States Constitution, signed in 1865 and 1868, guarantee equal rights for all American citizens regardless of their skin color. But even though the laws were clear, that didn't change everyone's opinion of slavery and African Americans. Many white Southerners had been taught from infancy that Black Americans were not as smart or important as white Americans. In 1866, a few white Southerners dressed in white sheets and pretended to be the ghosts of dead Confederate soldiers. They broke up a meeting of freed blacks. But what started out as a joke turned into a terrorist organization called the Ku Klux Klan. The Klan became violent and went about intimidating, whipping, and killing blacks and white supporters of black equality. The Ku Klux Klan became popular with those who felt the white race was superior. They and other secret groups have reportedly killed 20,000 men, women, and children. In the southern states, African Americans were segregated, meaning they were separated because of race. Even though the 13th and 14th Amendments were clear on civil rights, the southern states got around the constitutional laws by passing the Jim Crow laws. These laws and customs stated that it was constitutional to give blacks separate but equal treatment. The problem was the equal part was seldom identical to the whites' privileges and advantages. The Jim Crow laws specified that African Americans were only allowed to sit in the back of buses and had to ride in colored-only train cars. Blacks were not allowed to eat in all the same restaurants as whites. Blacks had to use separate bathrooms, drinking fountains, beaches, and park benches. White and black children could not attend the same schools, and compared to white schools, black schools were underfunded. This went on for many years, but eventually African Americans came forward and protested the separation of races. In 1892, an African American man named Homer Adolph Plessy refused to sit in the colored-only train car. In 1955, a black woman named Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on a bus to a white passenger. Both of these people were arrested for their actions, but they planted a seed of courage in many others. African Americans staged sit-ins and would sit at white-only lunch counters even if they were asked to leave. In the 1960s, dedicated black and white Americans began publicly fighting legal and moral battles for civil rights. Men like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Attorney General Robert Kennedy, and Thurgood Marshall were tireless in their fight for civil rights. In August of 1963, over 200,000 supporters of civil rights, both black and white, marched on Washington, D.C. and gathered at the National Mall in front of the Lincoln Memorial. There they listened to uplifting speeches that supported and encouraged civil rights. In 1964, United States President Lyndon Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act. In this landmark law, discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin was outlawed. Putting this law into action was not always easy and at times had to be enforced with the help of police and military. It was 101 years from the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation by President Lincoln to the signing of the Civil Rights Act by President Johnson. If you consider the United States is just a little over 200 years old, you begin to realize a good portion of our country's history was spent waiting for African Americans to be legally treated equally.